It says Google says it appears to have access to parallel universes. These quibids be entangled, bro. It's crazy out here at Google. Is it all malarkey, dude? Multiverse. Just this past week, Google has announced that they've been working on a quantum computer chip that may have potentially tapped into a parallel universe. But not everybody is taking this as fact, and Google has garnered a few critics who are claiming that this is all false and BS. So I'm your boy Peablar. Without further ado, let's jump right in. So essentially, Google released this chip earlier this past week, and they're claiming that they tapped into some sort of multiverse, or at the very least that it proves the existence of a multiverse due to the computational powers that it is producing. Essentially, in layman's terms, they're saying that it has computing power that's too powerful to exist in our standard timeline, and that it potentially is doing this computing in multiple timelines at the same time. I don't know, bro. Google is tapping into other dimensions at Google headquarters, apparently. Or is that really the case? We're gonna read this article from Futurism. It says Google says it appears to have access to parallel universes. Can they access one where Steve Irwin's still alive? I mean, that'd be lit, but I think that strays away a little bit from the reality of this story. Google has made eyebrow-raising claims saying that its new quantum chip may be tapping into parallel universes to achieve its results. The search giant recently unveiled a new quantum computer chip dubbed Willow, which on a specific benchmark, at least, the company says, can outperform any supercomputer in the world. So they're saying it's like leap years ahead of anything that we currently have. Willow's performance on this benchmark is astonishing. Google quantum AI founder Hartmut Nevin wrote in a blog post announcing the chip. It performed a computation in under 5 minutes that would have taken today's fastest supercomputer 10 to the power of 25 or 10 septillion years. Septillion, bro? Like, is that like the calendars that the reptilian people are using in their dimension? Septillion years. Like, that's something that we can't even fathom. What kind of problems are they throwing at this supercomputer to come to the conclusion it would take 10 septillion years for our current supercomputers to get to? You know what I mean? Like, they're just like refreshing Google homepage and they're like, oh, we're 1 millisecond faster. You know what I mean? Come on, dude. Anyway, this mind-boggling number exceeds known timescales in physics and vastly exceeds the age of the universe. Like, see, this is what I'm saying. It's all theoretical. How are we jumping to these conclusions? He argued, it lends credence to the notion that quantum computation occurs in many parallel universes, in line with the idea that we live in a multiverse. A prediction first made by David Douche. Is that right? Is that how you pronounce that? Douche? We're just gonna go with it. Douche is a physicist who laid out his multiverse hypothesis in a 1997 book called The Fabric of Reality, in which he suggests the quantum computer's calculations take place across multiple universes at the same time. Put another way, Google is suggesting that its chip is so fast that its computations may have taken place across parallel universes, a bombastic statement that unsurprisingly drew plenty of skepticism online. Which, yeah, like, how are you gonna jump straight to that conclusion? Our computer is making all these calculations over multiple universes. Like, I feel like it's like completely theoretical at that point, and it could really be anything. You know what I mean? Like, maybe you just made a super fast computer, bro. Pat yourself on the back. Or a teleportation, or a portal into multiple timelines. I guess if you were one of these chip creators, you would rather have that go under your belt. So I don't blame them for trying to hype it up. But like this article said, there are skeptics. So what's the deal here? What's the reality of the situation? We need the meat and potatoes. It says, for one, the calculations Willow was tasked to solve wasn't really anything useful to anybody. So they're not just refreshing the Google page, bro. They're actually throwing something at it. And apparently, it's just a pile of BS, bro. The particular calculation in question is to produce a random distribution. What does that even mean? Like, just like random numbers? German physicist and scientist communicator Sabine Hassenfelder tweeted in response to Google's announcement, The result of this calculation has no practical use. They use this particular problem because it has been formally proven with some technical caveats that the calculation is difficult to do on a conventional computer because it uses a lot of entanglement, she added. That also allows them to say things like this would have taken a septillion years on a conventional computer, etc., etc. Willow is a 100 qubit or quantum bit chip. Unlike conventional computers which use ones and zeros for their binary system, quantum computers rely on qubits, which can be on, off, or counterintuitively both at the same time thanks to quantum entanglement, which, like they alluded to earlier, is why it was able to perform so well on this random output, because there's a lot of entanglement going on, and in binary code, I guess it wouldn't perform very well. Whereas with these qubits, they can, be on, off, or entangled, which would be both. This sounds like some shit I would have said like when I was like in elementary school, like when I was in like middle school. This sounds like some shit I would have said when I was in middle school, like, oh, it's all ones and zeros? Well, what if we just used all the numbers, dude? You know what I mean? And apparently, Hassenfelder is saying here that it's exactly the same calculation that they did in 2019 on a circa 50 qubit chip. So they've been running this test over and over. This is their test. And I guess, that's not really anything crazy from Google's end. They're running their chips through the same benchmark, obviously trying to like crush their previous results. So I don't really see that being an issue. If they're testing it for quantum computers and these are the tests that are specifically designed for those computers, like what's the big deal, Hassenfelder? You tell me that. At the time, Google made a similarly bombastic claim, arguing that it had achieved quantum supremacy, or the point where quantum computers can do things that classic computers can't, regardless of whether those tasks are useful, as John Preskill, who first coined the term in 2012, wrote in 2019. The last part seems to be particularly relevant given Google's latest claims. So while the announcement is super impressive from a scientific point of view and all, the consequences for everyday life are zero, Hassenfelder argued. Estimates say that we will need about 1 million qubits for practically useful applications, and we're still about 1 million off. So like, what does that even mean? We're not even close. So these claims are absolute bullshit coming from Google, I guess. It doesn't really mean anything. They're just able to like output random codes and be like essentially flaunting to other people who are in the field like, hey, these qubits be entangled, bro. It's crazy out here at Google. I guess that's what it is. Google's claim to quantum supremacy drew immediate criticism in 2019, sparking a year-long feud between the company and quantum computing rival IBM. At the time, IBM researchers charged that Google had exaggerated its claims. Bro, honestly, I believe IBM. Just like last week or like a month ago, I had to buy an IBM computer off Facebook Marketplace to do some work on my car, and this thing is a beast. I'm pulling it out, honestly. Is this from IBM or just Lenovo, dude? Honestly, I don't even remember. Am I tripping? Is the ThinkPad from IBM? It's like a brick. You could throw this thing on the floor. You got this little guy right here lit. Clickers on the top. A fingerprint sensor, bro. What year did this even come out? We got a fingerprint sensor right there? Like, this is wild. It locks and has a hinge release. Bro, like, we're doing things right. ThinkPad. You already know it. I think it's IBM. I feel like maybe they were sold out to Lenovo, but I guess I'm losing it. We're getting off topic here. IBM, they're working on some supercomputers as well. Who knows? Maybe they're gonna drop one that it like actually brings you into a parallel universe. That'd be lit. I'm rooting for IBM. But in short, there's still no good reason to believe that Google's latest claim that Willow could be operating in the multiverse will be debunked. Apart from Douche's interpretations, researchers have also suggested that quantum particles are instead in a state of all positions before measurement, a theory known as the Copenhagen interpretation. Where all this leaves Google's breakthrough and its significance remains debatable, but the company's already looking far ahead, promising to continue to scale up Willow to the point where it may actually become useful. This is the most convincing prototype for the scalable logical qubit built to date. What does that even mean, bro? This is above Peablar TV's 2 pay grade. It's a strong sign that useful, very large quantum computing can indeed be built. So from what I'm hearing, they're making a lot of claims and it's still not practical at all. And they're pretty much claiming, you know, it's the biggest claim yet. They're tapping into the multiverse. And that's something that they didn't say previously in 2019 when they produced a chip that had half the quantum power. But is it all malarkey, dude? Comment down below. I don't know. It sounds like it could just be a bunch of BS. They're just spitting out random numbers and, you know, crushing the benchmarks for these supercomputers, but it doesn't really mean anything at the end of the day. And they're a technology company, so, you know, it just looks good on paper for them to be making these claims with which cannot really be debunked. Like, how are you gonna debunk that? It's, you know, going in the multiverse. Anyway, guys, that's gonna conclude it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, drop a like, drop a comment. Let me know what you're thinking about this Google multiverse chip. I'm also gonna be doing an end of the year giveaway of these Peablar hoodies. If you want one, it's super simple. Just comment on this video, take a screenshot or picture of it, and then DM it directly to me on Instagram at the Peablar. I'm giving away 5 of them completely free, no shipping costs or anything, and I will not be selling these, so they're limited edition. Send those DMs out. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Until next time, thanks for watching. I'm your boy Peablar. It's been real. Until next time, be well and peace.